heaven's design. Not the broken girl I was, but who I am in his eyes. I'm learning how to love a woman looking back at me.
Hey, family, it's Felicia Lee White, aka Coach Fee, and guess what? This is our April episode of Beyond the Mirror. So for those that did not get an opportunity to see our last podcast, I told everybody that I would be doing monthly podcasts instead of weekly because I felt like I was pressuring myself and I wasn't being my authentic self, right? And so we scaled it back to once a month. So this is our April series. And as you see, we are in our favorite place, which is where this is going to be filmed from now on and probably everything else, because this is my safe place, my comfortable place. I love my closet. But this is where God told me he wanted me to be. And so welcome to the Women's Health and Fitness Center. For those that don't know, I am Felicia Lee White, aka Coach Fee. I am the owner of the Women's Health and Fitness Center here in Humble, Texas. We've been here for about 4 years, but I've owned the gyms for over 20. Thank you for tuning in. I know you got a lot going on, so you might not get the opportunity to see us on Sunday, but take a minute, for those, pass it on to family and friends so they can visit with us. So our last episode last month, we talked about pivoting. And that means that's exactly what I did with this podcast was I did a pivot because I'm okay with change. Change doesn't scare me. And when I realized that's what I need to do, I made a pivot from weekly to once a month. And so that's where we are today. But we're going to jump right into this because this is a little personal, right? Today's episode is about who am I trying to impress? Wait for it. Who am I? I'm going to use me. Who am I trying to impress? Before we get into it, let me tell you why this topic came about. It got in my spirit. So this past weekend, I had the opportunity to speak at an amazing function. It had some of the most exquisite and interesting and movers and shakers of women in the Houston area. And thank you, Latrice, for the opportunity. And they spoke about their topics, and we had food, and we had entertainment, and we had massages, and you had a panel. It was just really amazing. And I had the opportunity to be one of the speakers, the first speaker, as a matter of fact. And so when the list came out, or the flyer came out, it was at this mansion, and it was just, it was really grand, and it was thought-provoking, and it made you think, and it made you, as a business owner or a woman in general, think about going to the next level, and the doors you need to go through, and the people you need to connect with, because no offense, but if you're still connected with the same people and they're doing the same thing's going to happen. So we're going to leave that right there. But when it came out, it talked about, we got the flyer and the last directions on what we needed to do. It was telling us that, how to dress and things to wear and where to show up at and what time and all that. And so trying to be politically correct, and do what somebody says do, I wore, my workout pants, but I had heels on and a little jacket and I had a shawl and all that, right? Wrong, because that was not my authentic self. Anybody who knows me know when I show up in my military boots. I show up in with my workout clothes because that's who God made me. And when I got up to speak, I told them just that. I am not being my authentic self. And yes, I was able to give them the information. And yes, it was a good time. But I'm saying to myself, who's to impress? Why did I find it necessary to get out of character to be there? Was I in the back of my mind intimidated? I don't know. And so that's why this topic is important. And so I got with one of my spiritual advisors that I trained, Miss Tanya, and we broke it down. She broke it down, right? And we talked about, she gave me, and I've been reading this, Exodus 4:10. You have to show up as your real self so that God can use you in your purest form. Let me read that again. You have to show up as your real self so God can use you in your purest form to be a blessing to others. To be a blessing to others. So if I'm not being my authentic self, you're not showing up who you know you are, how you going to bless somebody else? It's almost like, she walked on water, so, with her boots on, so I'm going to walk. No, that's not who I am. And that's not how I showed up. And if I could be really honest, I don't think I gave 125, 150%. Because I was uncomfortable. Everybody knows I have those boots on and I have the flapping and the strings hanging out, talking about how good it is to be alive, talking about what God has done for me in the arena of health and wellness, right? And then this goes on to say, I went through all the stuff I've gone through, yet He set me apart for a reason. And here I am trying to be like you. Oh my God. My journey is not like your journey. My peaks and valleys are not like your peaks and valleys. My joy is not like your joy. So what made me think that I needed to change who I was to show up? Now, this is not about the event, because the event gave me everything I needed. But this is about, who are you trying to impress? I'm not one of those girls that need to drive around, and this is just my story, drive around in a $80,000 car, and I got an $80,000 salary. What the world? I have learned to be okay with the skin I'm in. You see, as a recovering person, I've been to the lowest of the lows, and God has put me on the highest of the highs for me. So everybody's different. This also talked about Moses felt inadequate because he stuttered. Woo! Let me say this again. Moses felt inadequate because he stuttered. Just because he stuttered, did that mean God couldn't use him? No. You read your word, he'll tell you he used him to the utmost. Also in Exodus 6:12 and 6:30, he doubted himself and his ability to lead because of what he believed was a weakness. Now, I'm going to go back to that weekend. Did I feel there was a weakness in me that I had to show up like that? I could have called and said, hey, I'm coming, but I want you to know I'm going to have my boots on. But the funny thing was, when I started speaking and saying I normally have my boots on, Latrice said, you sure do. I was like, the Christmas? So why am I trying to be and do something that's not in my character? That made no sense to me. I'm still trying to figure it out. So, in other words, listen to this. So when you show up just as you are, he will fill in the gaps. There's no need to focus on impressing somebody else. He will use you to teach others just from watching you. He will use you to help others by just watching you. That's amazing. That's amazing to me, because I know in reality, I have watched, especially my siblings, my sisters, I've watched them and learned just by watching. So they have taught me, not verbally, but just by me watching them show up in the way they show up. I wonder who you have been watching show up. Who have you been watching that just show up and you are in awe of their presence? Well, guess what? Everybody at one time or another has been in awe of somebody because of the way they showed up. And so I think the lesson in this for me is that you show up in your boots. As a matter of fact, one of my sisters, I said that to me, don't you ever speak again without your boots. Let me give you this other example. One time, Kay and I were at an event I was doing, and Kay went with me. Kay is one of the trainers here at the gym. And the instructions on that was everybody wore a suit, right? Baby, I was already having anxiety because I'm not a suit girl, right? I'm not a suit girl. And so we were supposed to wear suits, and I was speaking, there were several ladies speaking. And don't you know, two things happened. One, I carried my boots with me. And two, when I got there, they didn't all have suits on. I was hot as a firecracker. I didn't like that. And I got up there in that old crazy suit with this jacket on, and I took that jacket on, and Kay gave me my boots, and I put them boots on that stage just to tell them, this is who I am. My boots represent strength to me. My boots represent the struggle to me. My boots represent that I could stump out anything. My boots represent from crawling to walking up straight. My boots say that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. My boots are who I am. My boots tell a story. My boots. I am never, ever going to do it again. There is nobody that I think that is more important than I am. There's nobody. And again, this is not about the event. This is about me. I'm the one that took myself out of character. I'm the one that for whatever reason lost my mind. I'm the one. And I think for all those that are listening, we do it to ourselves. On any given day, we have the ability or the inability to be okay with the skin we're in. Just like working in the gym. Don't come in my gym and say, I want to look like her. I'm probably going to tell you I do too. Right? You are the most important person in the scenario. So who are you trying to impress? Why do you find the need to impress somebody? Now, the last thing I want to say is that I don't know sometimes if we realize we're doing that. You understand? I don't know if we do it subconsciously, but we do it. If you sit down long enough, I'm going to give you a few seconds. Wait for it. Think about when was the last time you showed up somewhere and you were doing a comparison to the people in the room. When was the last time, because I'm not the only one, so let's not pretend I am. You walk in the room and her designer purse is bigger than yours. Or you scan the parking lot and everybody's car is fancier than yours. Or you might be missing a button. Holy Spirit, thank you. You might be missing a button on the bottom part of your shirt that's tucked in, nobody can see, but yet you feel less than. Let me just say this. I drive a Volkswagen Jetta. I love it. Right? My car note is little or nothing. I do a budget that's called the envelope method so that I can save my money. I can buy when I want to, travel when I want to, and I don't have to wait till Friday to get paid. Wait for it. So I am the GOAT in my mind, in God's mind. I am that girl. And so I'm excited to be able to tell the truth that I have no idea what happened. I lost my mind. But the good news is that God revealed to me, girl, what are you doing? So I stay open-minded. I stay willing. I stay acceptable. And I want to walk in the truth. And so on that day, I wasn't walking in my truth. I don't know much to say, but I need somebody to grab their Bible, read Exodus 4, 10 and 12, Exodus 6 and 12, 6 and 12 and 6 and 30, right? so that you can really digest that when I show up for God. I know there was a mouthful. Thank you for being acceptable to this word. Here at the Women's Health and Fitness Center, and whatever else I do, I try to lead with him. I'm not always perfect, but I had to tell the truth on this one. So as we close this Easter Sunday, I want to spotlight somebody. And I want to spotlight a young lady that her name is Camille Scott. I want to spotlight her. I want to spotlight her because she knows what it's like to be in the trenches, and she knows what it feels like to be on top. And sometimes you got to give people their flowers, and I want to give her flowers and let her know we love her. I'm proud of her, and there's nothing you can't do like you've always been doing. So thank you, Camille, for being a warrior at the Women's Health and Fitness Center near and far. And I want to thank you guys for visiting with me today. And I want to leave you with this. Show up as your authentic self. Show up as your authentic self. This is Felicia Lee White, aka Coach Fee, and we'll see you next month at Beyond the Mirror. But I'm going to be doing some morning meditations, so stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Bye.